We just got a letter. We just got a letter. We just got a letter. Wonder who it's from?
I actually didn't just get this letter. It's from July 2nd, but I'm just really lazy. It's from my friend Reagan, who I'm going to school with this fall. In the letter, it says, "The book that I'm including in this is from my bookshelf. When I first read it, I was pretty confused because it's a little hard to follow. As you keep reading, though, it reveals more information that is needed for the plot. Basically, teen suicide was an epidemic, so lots of kids were forced to repress their emotions. It's insanely addicting." The book that she included in her letter was The Program by Suzanne Young. There it is. The only cure for the epidemic is the program. Here's the little book blurb. Sloan knows better than to cry in front of anyone. With suicide now an international epidemic, one outburst could land her in the program, the only proven course of treatment. Sloan's parents have already lost one child. Sloan knows they'll do anything to keep her alive. She also knows that everyone who's been through the program returns as a blank state, because their depression is gone, but so are their memories. Damn. Wish I could do the same thing. Shit. Under constant surveillance at home and at school, Sloan puts on a brave face and keeps her feelings buried as deep as she can. The only person Sloan can be herself with is James. He's promised to keep them both safe and out of treatment, and Sloan knows their love is strong enough to withstand anything. But despite the promises they've made to each other, it's getting harder to hide the truth. They are both growing weaker. Depression is setting in. And the program is coming for them. Okay, so I know nothing about this book. I know nothing about this author. I just know that it's more of a dystopian fiction, young adult novel, which I don't normally read. I read through The Hunger Games, but I don't normally read dystopian books like this. So I am excited. This is gonna be more of a reading vlog and my review. So I'm going to be reading The Program by Suzanne Young, so you don't have to.
Trigger warning. This book contains sensitive subject matter, including suicide, depression, self-harm, sexual assault, and spoilers. If you or a loved one ever experienced thoughts of harming oneself, please reach out to the resources below.
I know I've changed my outfit like 3 times already in this video. Let's not talk about it. It's only been 2 days. We're not going to talk about it. So I finished the first part of the book. There's 3 parts in the book. I finished the first part. It's like 12 o'clock in the morning right now. It's a very hard book to get through. Like, I definitely had to put it down a few times because it was kind of triggering. So we have like 3 main characters right now. We've got Sloan, who is like the main character, like who we follow throughout the book. We have James, her boyfriend, and we have Miller, the like best friend, right? So there's this whole program, right? And basically what it does is that like if they like flag you for being depressed, they like take you away and like wipe your memory, so like you become happier or whatever, but you're like a shell of who you actually were, right? So obviously no one wants to go to the program, so they don't want to get flagged because like just crying will like get you flagged, so they like repress all their emotions, so it's really hard to, you know, live. I don't know, there's just a lot of like suicidal like descriptions of suicide and like descriptions of self-harm and descriptions of suicidal thoughts and like depressive thoughts, and it's like no one warned me of this. Like, I knew it was going to be about depression and stuff, but I didn't know it was going to be like in your face that deep, you know? Like, it's really hard to sit here and read. But basically what happened was, okay, so Sloane's brother Brady, Sloane's brother Brady died of suicide like 2 years before. 2 years later, they're chilling. I think Sloane's a junior in high school. James is a senior and Miller is a junior. They're chilling, they're doing their thing. Miller's girlfriend was taken away like 6 weeks ago by the program. Her name is Lacey. And Miller goes in to try and see Lacey and see if she'll remember him, but she doesn't, and she freaks out, and he's upset about it, and then he kills himself. James and Sloane are really upset about it, really, really upset about it, but James is more obviously affected by it. So James, he doesn't try and kill himself, but he's obviously really, really sick. He gets flagged and taken away. So Sloane freaks the fuck out, but still tries to keep it repressed and everything. But she also gets taken away by the program, and that's where part 1 ends. Part 2 and probably part 3 are gonna get finished tomorrow, because I just want to read it all. I just want to get it over with. It's really hard to read. It's so hard to read. But yes, it's not a bad story. It's not a bad story so far. I like the plot. I like the ideas. Well, I obviously don't like the ideas, but I like the plot and I like the storytelling. I don't like the horny teenagers. James and Sloane are very horny for each other, and they're minors. I don't like reading about that. I don't yes, I know teenage sex happens, but I don't want to read about it. It's not something I want to read. But yes, the program. But yes, here comes part 2. Okay, I think it's day 3 of me reading. I finished part 2 last night. I've been at work all day, so I haven't been able to read until starting now, but finished part 2. Even more traumatizing than the last part. Lots of uncomfortable interactions between a adult and a child, if you get my drift. A predator in the program. So basically this whole part was about Sloane going through the program and her experience with it, and you watch her slowly lose all her memories, and she becomes what she hated the idea of becoming reset and thinking that the program is good, but at the end of the program she feels it actually helped her. It did good for her, and it's just so weird to see how the contrast between the beginning and the end of that part, from Sloane hating the program to Sloane being I don't really remember some of my past sessions, but I remember a few of my last ones, and I think I'm making progress, and I think I'm feeling better, and it's just that's not good. There was a character that was introduced named Realm that Sloane kind of had a relationship with in the program, and she feels guilty about it because obviously she's with James, but once she forgets about James, she feels guilty about being in this relationship, but she doesn't really know why she's feeling guilty. And Realm turns out to be one of the guards that's in charge of the program, but he's a special type of guard. He acts like a program patient to help form better social interactions with the people who are taking the program a lot more difficultly. I don't know, that was also weird because that means that Realm was an adult actively hitting on a minor. She said that she was 7 months away from turning 18, but she's still not an adult. why are there so many relations? Why are there so many weird things in this book that make me uncomfortable? This book is just uncomfortable to sit through. And like, obviously, some of the scenes are written to be uncomfortable for a reason, because, you know, like sexual assault, like themes like that, like it's not easy to sit through. Like, obviously it should be written about because it is an experience that happens like every day, but so yeah, that's part 2. I think where we left off, Sloane is going home with her parents because she's all better now. Before she left for the program, she took the ring that James gave her and a picture of Brady and James. Brady was a brother who killed himself. Picture of those two. Stuffed it in her mattress. Right? And then Roger, the handler, security guard that like was a predator to her, gave her this purple pill that would, like, if she focused on one specific memory, she could like remember it out of context in the future. So she like focused on remembering the fact that she put this ring and the picture in her mattress. So I'm predicting that like she's gonna remember about what she put in the mattress once she gets home, but I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm excited. Here we go. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I finished the book. Wow. It's the afternoon now. I've processed all my thoughts. Part 3 was a doozy. So not only does... Okay, so Sloane's home now. Sloane has reconnected. Sloane's at her new school. Not only does she meet Lacey, if you remember Miller, it was Miller's girlfriend and like her kind of best friend. She meets Lacey again, but like is basically reintroduced to her. So I was shook. And then she meets James again. I was extra shook. Extra shook. She's all confused. She feels some like sort of way about James, but she doesn't understand why she feels that way about James because she's never met him before. And she ends up having this like the flashback memory. So I don't know what triggered it, but she remembered the mattress. So she found her ring and the picture again. She was like, why is Brady and James in this picture together? Something's not adding up here. So she says it to James and she's like, sir, how did you know my brother? And James is like, I don't know. They end up going to Realm's house, and Realm breaks the news to Sloane that Brady killed himself and that Brady did not die in a rafting accident. Because that's what her parents told her, that Brady died in a rafting accident and didn't kill himself. So she's like mega shook. And Realm also eventually reveals to Sloane that James and Sloane were in love before the program. So that's the reason why they're feeling those feelings towards each other. It's very frustrating for them. And then towards the end of the book, Realm's sister calls them to Realm's house. Realm is gone. Realm's sister calls them to Realm's house, gives Sloane this orange pill that will restore all the memories for one person. Just like that. She's like, you guys gotta run. So they like leave, and like the story ends on a cliffhanger just like that. And wow. There's an epilogue at the end with Realm at a different facility, basically doing all the same motions again with some other girl named Allie. So like it's just his job to have social interactions with program patients to help work on their social skills and like making them all comfortable in the program. And that whole like scene was just weird because like it's basically a copy and paste of what he did with Sloane with some other girl. And it was just like, was any of it real? Like, did it mean anything to him? You know, like, does he hit on all of the girls? He's also, like, over 18, hitting on patients. Something's not right there. The book overall, great book. Awesome book. What I do want to talk about was, like, the idea of the program itself, right? So the program is so convinced that forgetting automatically means that you're over it. Like, you're over all the trauma that you went through. And obviously that's just not right. That's just not right. This is not, like, a critique towards, like, the writing or anything. I just, totally baffled by this whole program. Like, you can erase memories and everything. Like, it's proved that you can erase the memories, but you can't erase the feelings that you felt about those memories. So if something triggers, like, a memory, but you don't remember the memory, the feelings still happen, but you're still feeling feelings for no explained reason. Avoiding all these memories and, like, forcing them to forget isn't helping them overcome their trauma and their suicidal thoughts, because I feel like the whole erasing their memories and just having fog is more traumatic for them. Like, it's proven, like, they're not really happy after the program. They're just confused as hell. Also, there are doctors and, like, therapists, like, medical professionals working on the program, and, like, why do they think that avoiding is going to help the problem? I don't understand. It don't make sense to me. Besides that whole, like, confusion over the program itself, I thought the book was great. Amazing. The characters were, like, meh, but they weren't so, like, boring or awful that, like, it turned me off from the book. Like, they were good enough. I'm glad that the characters weren't quirky or weird or anything, because I feel like that would just throw off kind of the whole idea of the book. The teenagers, the feelings that they're feeling are normal. Like, it's normal to feel depressed and sad, and they have to repress it. So, like, there's nothing unique about the characters, because that's what everyone is going through. The biggest things I hated in terms of the characters was every, like, thing about the relationships that were more than friendships in that book was just, like, I didn't care for it. The relationship between Sloane and James just was not... It only made sense towards the end of the book. It felt more like it was doing something for the plot towards the end, because now they, like, have forgotten each other, but they know that they have a past with each other, so they're trying to piece it together, and that gives them more of a push as to why this relationship makes sense. But obviously you're not going to be able to have that context at the end if you don't build up the emotional relationship in the beginning. So I had to sit through it. Now, the world building, overall plot of the book, fantastic, great, wonderful.
Talented, brilliant, incredible, amazing, show-stopping, spectacular, never the same, totally unique, completely not ever been done before, unafraid to reference or not reference, put it in a blender, shit on it, vomit on it, eat it, give birth to it.
And I was like, wow, this was such a great book. Like, I ended it. It ended on this cliffhanger. I was, like, a little salty, and I was like, oh, whatever. I'll read one, I'll read the next one, and, like, maybe there's a third, and then it'll be over with. No! There are 7 more books to read in order to figure out and read about the rest of the story. 7! It's the treatment, the recovery, the remedy, the epidemic, the adjustment, the reaction, and the complication. 7 other books I have to read. That is an additional 2,094 pages I have to read in order to be satisfied with an ending to the series. Ma'am, why'd you do that to me? Another thing I enjoy talking about are the covers of the books. This cover I actually really liked. Originally I thought the person on the left was Sloane and the person on the right was James. Because obviously Sloane and James are together, they're in a relationship, you know, like maybe they went into the program together. Nope, you got pranked, bro. The person on the right is probably actually Realm, because they sort of formed a relationship together in the program. These are like the scrubs that you have to wear when you're in the program. I know this whole realization with the truth of book cover surprised me. I got bamboozled, and I like that. I like it when a cover, like, you think it makes sense in the beginning and then like it really makes sense at the end. That's a good book cover, okay? Like, come on, that was solid. Overall, I'm gonna give this book 5 orange pills out of 5 because I just thought it was a really great book and it was exciting. I was really captured by the plot, and the only thing I'm mad about is that I'm never going to be satisfied until I read 7 more books. So obviously, since Reagan wrote me a letter, I also have to write her a letter in return. So, dear Reagan, I finally finished reading the program, and I'm devastated. That book was quite emotional, and I was not prepared, ma'am. You've gotten me invested in a book series that I didn't know has 7 other books. Excuse me, how could you do that to me? The audacity. God, Reagan. But I shall finish writing the letter later. That's the end of my book review and vlog. I don't really have anything else to say now. Bye.
Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed my little mini vlog of a video. It'll help me know whether or not you guys actually like them. Comment down below your thoughts of the book if you've read the program, and if you'd like to hear my thoughts on the rest of the story, I have more videos.